Welcome to my channel. This year again QwikLab is back with quiz and challenges. And this week a green challenge is going on, and there are series of labs in this challenge which you have to complete to earn arcade points. So in order to play this challenge you should enable your arcade account with a Gmail ID. So here you have to provide your Gmail address and click on subscribe button. So once you submit this, you will get the activation code to your Gmail ID, which you have to use to activate your arcade account. Once your account is activated, you can play all these challenge labs. So I have already activated my arcade account, so I will be able to play this challenge. So for this week, this green challenge is going on. So let's play this game. So let's check out the green challenge. Click on play. So you will get this page where all the lab details are listed, and this lab started on 1st of January and it will end on 8th of January. So I ensure that you complete all this lab within the time duration. So this is the first lab. Let's start this lab. Click on this. Click on start lab. So you have to answer a set of questions here. I understand that I must activate the arcade to be eligible for arcade points and prizes. So you click on I understand for all of this. Prizes are not available immediately, and it will be available only when you complete the challenge. Submit. And you have to opt in to receive the information about the arcade and the price counter when it's going to open. So you have to click on this. I understand that the price counter opens in June 2023, not before. Yes, that's correct. Click on I understand for all of this and submit. So when do price related emails go out? So sometime in June. So click on yes, I have. And event data in CSV format to be queried for individual values over time windows with storage and schema to minimize query costs. So this is the answer. Use cloud Bigtable, design tall and narrow tables, and use a new row for each single event version. So click on submit. And the development team has provided you with a Kubernetes deployment file. You have no infrastructure yet and need to deploy the application. What should you do? So you have to create a cluster and you have to create the deployment. For that, what you do? Use gcloud to create a Kubernetes cluster. Use kubectl to create the deployment. So this is the answer for this. Click on submit. So once you're done, you're good to end this lab. Next we will move on to next lab. So this is now complete. The next one is data engineer Bigtable skills. So there's two labs. So this lab is currently disabled. So if you're taking this as part of a game, you just have to start this lab and wait for 5 minutes. Then you can end this lab. So just start a lab and end this lab after 5 minutes. So verify all this capture. So once the capture is verified, the lab will start. So at present, there is an issue with this lab. So they have disabled this lab. To count your progression, you just have to start this lab and keep it for 5 minutes. Then you can just end this lab. So now the 5 minutes is over. You can just end this lab. Click on end lab and submit. Now go back. Click on this and click on the second lab. Even this lab is currently disabled, you just have to start this lab and keep it for 5 minutes. So once 5 minutes is done, you can end this lab. So now the 5 minutes is over. You can end this lab. Click on end lab. So you don't have to worry because already these two labs are disabled and you will not be able to complete this lab. So you just have to start this lab and keep it for 5 minutes, and then you can just click on end lab. So you will be marked like you will get this green tick for both the labs, and it will be counted. So next, let's proceed with this lab. DevOps engineer, Kubernetes engine. So this got two labs. So let's just click on this. Click on cloud operations for JKE. So click on start lab. Once the lab is started, you will get a username, password, and the GCP project ID. So you have to click on open Google console. Username, which you get here. Copy and paste your username here. Let me copy this again. So copy and paste your username, which you get in this lab. Please don't give your Gmail ID because you will not have any credits to complete the lab. So this is a special student ID which will have access to all the labs to perform all this task. So you have to use this ID only. So copy that ID, and this is a password. Click next. Give your password here. Click next. So once you log in, you can see the Google console like this, GCP console. So you have logged in as a student and not with your Gmail ID. Okay. So once this is done, I have to activate your Cloud Shell. So to activate the Cloud Shell, you have to click on this, activate Cloud Shell. So it will take some time to provision this terminal. Once it's done, you just copy this gcloud hot list. Okay, this is loaded now. Just copy paste this. So you have to click on authorize. So it is set now. Okay, next just run this command, gcloud config list project. So it will list a project. So this is your project which is created for this lab purpose. This is done. So let us go to the first task, set region or zone. So you have to set your region and zone. Copy these commands and just execute it here. So gcloud config set compute region US Central 1 and compute zone US Central 1. So you're basically setting your zone and region to US Central 1. So just click enter. It will get executed. So now you have updated your zone and region. Okay, that is done. Next, the second task is clone demo. So you have to run this command to copy these resources. So execute this, copy and paste this. Okay, cd to that directory. Okay, now inside that, this is also completed. Next, you need to configure the authentication. So this configuration will use a personal account to build out these resources. In this lab, you have to use a Cloud Shell, which automatically has your project and student account configured and authenticated, right? So you have to create a monitoring metric scope. Go to the navigation menu, click on monitoring page. When the monitoring overview page opens, your metric scope project is ready. So let us do that now. You can just type it here, monitoring. Okay, click on that. It's monitored by this project. So this is a project which has been monitored. Just have to ensure that it has been monitored. Okay. Next, the infrastructure and cloud monitoring alert policy required by this project can be deployed by executing make create. So just go back to your Cloud Shell. go back to your cloud shell, just maximize this, and let us clear this out, and you run that command make create, basically creating a cluster. Okay, so the cluster is created in US central region. So if you had successfully deployed the cluster on the resources using the Terraform, this should turn green. This is taking some more time. Let us wait for that to complete. So once the cluster is created, you can check your progress here. If you click on this, it should show assessment completed. So now the infrastructure is ready. Let's move on to the task 3, validation. You can click on Kubernetes engine to monitor the progress. So in order to validate the resources are installed working correctly, you have to run the make validate command. Make validate. Okay, you have to be in a correct directory in order for this command to execute. So now the app is deployed, you can see. Okay, so Terraform Cloud includes a cloud monitoring alerting policy. So you have to click on the alerting. Tell there are 2 incidents created for this. So you'll eventually see an incident when the mem hello port well policy gets violated. So you can see the incidents fired. There are 2 incidents. So clicking on this incident will give more detail. What has triggered this? And this is done. Next I will go to this task 4. Make tear down. What it does? You have to clean up the resources that were created. So you have to run the command make tear down. So this will destroy the Terraform infrastructure, whatever you have created in your previous task. See, you can see it is getting destroyed. So it's get destroyed means it's getting removed and deleted. Click on check my progress. So this is completed now. This has been deleted completely. So you're done with this lab. Next we will start with the second lab in DevOps engineer Kubernetes engine scale using CloudTrace on Kubernetes engine. Okay, click on start lab. Verification is complete. You can see the lab has started and you have 1 hour to complete this lab. You have to click on open Google console and copy your student ID and okay, next copy your password, give next. You have to accept that condition. So Google Cloud Console is open and you have to click on this terms and conditions. Okay, let's go back to this initialization. So first you have to execute this command from the root directory of your project. For that you have to enable the cloud shell. So it will take some time to provision this terminal. Tab is started. You have to activate your cloud shell. So in order to activate your cloud shell, you have to run gcloud hotlist authorize it. Okay, now it's activated. Now you run a gcloud config list project, and this is option. You can run it, or just to check the project name. Then you have to clone the resources for this lab. Executing the command git clone. Okay, now the clone is complete. Then you have to go into that directory, cd. Now set your region and zone. Copy the command, paste it here. So you're basically setting the zone and region to central one here. So once that is done, now perform the Terraform initialization deployment. So all these tasks we will execute one by one. So once that is done, go to, let me clear the screen, cd Terraform. So you're inside the Terraform directory now. Update the provider tf script file. How do you do that? Nano provider.tf. So once you are inside the provider.tf, you have to remove this version, and the script will look like this after the remove. vi provider.tf. Okay, escape dd, delete this. Okay, now it is, now we have removed the version. Now it's not there, right? Run terraform init command. So it initializes. It is successful now. This will download the dependency that Terraform requires, the Google Cloud project and Cloud Zone to which the demo application should be deployed. You have to execute this. Okay, so when you run this gcloud config list, it shall display the region and zone. So you have already set to US Central and it is correct, and your account and the project ID, so everything is correct. You just don't have to change anything over here. Then you execute the deployment. So run the Terraform plan command. This will generate a plan to create the infrastructure for you. Then you execute the Terraform apply. So the plan is just created and just have to apply it for the infrastructure to be created. So run the Terraform apply command. So it will take some time. Enter a value, give us. It's creating, it will take some time. So now the cluster is created and you can see the status as green. Now let's start with task 3, deploy demo application. So before that, you have to click on navigation menu and see the pub sub topic and subscription is created. So to do that, you can just type here only pub sub. Topic and subscription has to be created. So yeah, this topic and the subscription has been created. You can see here, this is the one. So now you have to go back to the cloud shell. Maximize this, just clear this. Okay. Now we have to deploy the application using kubectl command. So copy that command, paste here. So execute kubectl apply -f. So this is a deployment file name. Okay. So now the deployment is complete. So this can be viewed under Kubernetes engine workloads. So let me minimize this and go back to navigation, Kubernetes engine, Click on workloads. So sometimes you will get this warning does not have minimum availability. Just have to refresh it. So now the status shows okay. So this application has been deployed. Okay, so this is what they have mentioned here. Sometimes you will get this status. You don't have to worry. You just have to refresh the page to get this okay status. So you can also run this command on a CLI. That is optional. So let's check if the task is completed. Click on check my progress. So this has to be completed. This is on a green mark. Next, let's do the task for which is validation. So we need to ensure the service and ingress is available. Click on services and ingress. Okay, you can see the endpoint here. So under Kubernetes engine, go to services and ingress, and you can see your application, external load balancer, endpoint. This is exposed. Click on this. So you should get this message LOL. Now to the string, add this message and just have to append here. See, now the message got changed, right? Message, custom message. You can also type any message like hello there, enter. See, this gets changed accordingly. This has to be completed. So now it shows assessment is complete. So once this is completed, next is examine traces. So go to navigation menu, trace list. Okay, let's do that. Let's write. So instead of going there, you can type trace list. Click on enter. Auto reload. Click on auto reload. So this is what they say here. Click on auto reload. Here you can see the details if you hover above this dots. So show trace graph, you'll be able to see that. So this is also optional, you can do it. So you on CLI as well, you can run this command, but this is optional. You can just move on with the task file. Let's start with the task file troubleshooting in your own environment. On this command kubectl get deployment tracing demo, I've just copied that. Okay, I'll just come back to my cloud shell and I will execute here. Kubectl get deployment tracing demo. Right now it is showing it is ready one of one. It is up to date and it is available. There is no error. It is working fine. More details can be shown with the describe command. So you just have to run. Let me maximize this. Just have to run the command kubectl describe deployment tracing demo. So this will show you the detailed description about this. Okay. Now you can all run kubectl get pod to list the pod. Kubectl get pod. So it will show the pod and the pod status is running. So it is LT. Okay, once that is done, if you want to see the detailed description of the pod, you can run kubectl describe pod tracing demo. Okay, so here detailed description you can see like when it was created and if there was any issue with that, it will that message will be loaded here. So in the event section, you can see all the details about this specific pod. Here, copy the pod name. So our pod name is this. Just copy this name, pod name, and kubectl logs. You can run like that. It will show the logs. Next, once everything is complete, you have to destroy the environment. So in tasks is you have to tear down the environment. In order to do that, you have to run terraform destroy. So come back to the cloud shell and run terraform destroy. So this will remove the cluster and the pod. Type S. It will destroy everything whatever we have created in the previous task. It will take some time. See, we had created a pub subtopic and the subscription. We had created the cluster. So everything it is deleting. And this we can see if you go to Kubernetes engine. If we click on cluster, see the cluster is being deleted. You can see the warning status here. It's getting deleted. So once it's completely deleted, this will be removed from you. Even the pub sub will be removed. See, the topic is already deleted. It's part of that destroy command. We'll go back and see the clusters. Okay, cluster is getting deleted. Go to workloads. Okay, so in workload we have deployed the application, even that got deleted. Right? So first that will be deleted, then the cluster will be removed. I'll refresh this. Okay, it's taking some more time. Cluster is deleted. See, destroy complete, resource, 3 resource destroyed. So you can close this. See the Kubernetes cluster, there are no clusters. It's already deleted. So coming back to the lab, we are done with this lab. You can end this lab.